This is not a sapphire, but it's worth more. In fact, collectors are now spending millions chasing blue gemstones you've likely never even heard of. From deep ocean blues to icy electric tones, we're uncovering the top 10 rare blue stones that are quietly outpricing even the finest sapphires. And number 1 might be hiding in your jewelry box already. Let's dive in, but don't blink. Some of these names vanish from the market in seconds. Number 10. Blue Spinel, the mistaken royal. It looks like sapphire, it acts like sapphire, but it's not. Blue Spinel has been mistaken for sapphire for centuries. In fact, the British imperial state crown contains a massive red spinel once believed to be a ruby. The blue variation is rarer, less understood, and shockingly more expensive in its finest grades. Found mostly in Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and Vietnam, cobalt blue spinel in vivid tones has reached over $10,000 per carat, rivaling even cashmere sapphires under certain lighting. Its crystal clarity, vibrant tone, and low heat treatment dependency make it a collector's dream. Unlike sapphire, spinel's cubic crystal structure refracts light more evenly, giving it a soft glow, almost ethereal. It's the gemstone for those in the know. More ethereal. You're alerting which is listening when you're going on. Number 9. Larimar, the Caribbean's blue fire. Only found in a single square kilometer in the Dominican Republic, Larimar is a gemstone born from volcanic fire and cooled by the Caribbean Sea. It's technically a rare variety of pectolite, but what sets it apart is its shocking sky-to-sea blue gradients, colors that seem painted by waves and sun. Larimar's price has surged over the last decade. While fine-grade sapphire sits at $800 to $2,000 per carat, top-grade Larimar, with deep ocean blue and white streaks, now commands $2,000 plus per carat, with price hikes due to rapidly vanishing sources. It's not just a gem, it's a dying species. Collectors are scrambling to hoard the last quality reserves. And yes, it outsells sapphire in niche markets, driven by scarcity, aesthetics, and new age demand. Number 8. Blue Tourmaline Indicolite, electric rarity. Tourmaline is the chameleon of gemstones, but indicolite, its rarest blue form, is one of its most breathtaking. It ranges from soft azure to deep inky cobalt, often with electrifying clarity and luster. Found in Brazil, Namibia, and Afghanistan, highly saturated indicolite can easily reach $4,000 per carat, surpassing mid-tier sapphires in both price and appeal. But here's the twist. Gem investors love indicolite because of its steep rarity curve. For every 1,000 carats of sapphire mined, maybe 1 carat of fine blue tourmaline is discovered. Now imagine you're looking at one through loupe magnification. The needles of copper-rich inclusions dance like lightning storms frozen in time. And unlike sapphire, indicolite is rarely heated or treated. What you see is natural. Number 7. Grenadierite, the ghost of Madagascar. Named after French explorer Alfred Grenadier, this translucent to opaque gem is so rare, most gemologists have never held a high-grade sample. Grenadierite has a blue-green glow that seems to come from within. It was ranked as the 3rd rarest mineral on Earth until recent discoveries in southern Madagascar revealed small but potent veins. Prices? Insane. Top-quality transparent grenadierite easily fetches $20,000 to $30,000 per carat at auction, placing it miles beyond sapphire territory. Its mesmerizing pleochroism, where the stone shifts from sea green to teal to icy blue, depending on viewing angle, makes it a visual enigma. Collectors call it a living gem because it never looks the same twice. Number 6. Bonitoite. California's blue lightning. It glows in ultraviolet light, it's rarer than diamonds, and it's only found in one place on Earth, San Benito County, California. Bonitoite was discovered in 1907 and initially mistaken for sapphire, but under closer analysis, its refractive brilliance and triangular crystals set it apart. It's the official state gem of California and perhaps its best-kept secret. Why? Because fine bonitoite over 1 carat can go for $10,000 to $15,000 per carat, And it has one major advantage over sapphire, its dispersion. Under light, it throws flashes of fire like a blue diamond, creating an unforgettable shimmer. But there's a catch. Benitoite mining ceased commercially years ago. What remains are small private claims and old stock stones. In other words, the supply is finite. Every gem sold today shrinks the global reserve. So far, we've uncovered cobalt illusions, volcanic rarities, and ghostly glows, but what lies ahead gets even deeper. The top 5 blue gemstones that outsell sapphire are beyond rare. They're mythical. Get ready for extraterrestrial origins, impossible clarity, and blue gems that command millions in private sales. Number 5. Paraíba tourmaline, neon from the depths. From the moment it surfaced in the 1980s from a single hill in Paraíba, Brazil, the world took notice. Because Paraíba tourmaline doesn't just shimmer, it glows. It's the only gemstone on Earth that contains copper and manganese in a way that creates an electric, neon blue flash that almost looks artificial. But it's very real and very, very rare. Paraíba's original mines are nearly empty. Secondary sources in Nigeria and Mozambique produce lookalikes, but the most vivid, pure Windex blue Paraíbas from Brazil, those now fetch up to $100,000 per carat. Collectors describe it as light trapped inside a stone. Jewelers guard it like relics, and gem hunters, they dream of finding even a single rough crystal. If sapphire is the star, Paraíba is the supernova. Number 4. Blue garnet, the color-changing phantom. Garnet is usually red, but a blue color-changing garnet? That's an entirely different story. Discovered only in the late 1990s in Madagascar and later in Tanzania, blue garnet appears teal to blue in daylight and shifts to purplish red or violet under incandescent light. It's an all-natural gemstone that outdoes sapphire in price, rarity, and optical intrigue, with some stones going for $15,000 to $20,000 per carat. Blue garnet is not just rare, it's borderline science fiction. And because of its garnet structure, it often has cleaner clarity and sharper brilliance than sapphire. Collectors consider blue garnet to be a once-in-a-lifetime stone. Some even call it the chameleon of the gem world. Number 3. Germaeovite, the blue whisper. Can you pronounce it? Most people can't. But Germaeovite is one of the rarest blue minerals in the world. Originally discovered in Siberia in 1883, this aluminum borate fluoride is found today in Namibia, Myanmar, and Tajikistan in microscopic quantities. But when it forms in large gem-quality crystals, it becomes a unicorn. With hardness just below sapphire and clarity so clean it resembles aquamarine, Germaeovite is a collector's top-shelf fantasy. Some elite samples have fetched 50,000 plus galers and raws per carat due to sheer rarity. What makes it special isn't just the price or color, it's the hauntingly light sky blue translucency, as if it holds a frozen breath of Arctic air. You could spend a lifetime mining and never see one. Number 2. Muscovite, sapphire's silent superior. There are less than a few dozen gem-quality muscovites known on Earth. Discovered in the Musgrave Ranges of Australia, this ultra-rare blue-gray gem is often found in minute amounts in Greenland, Sri Lanka, and Madagascar, but rarely clean and almost never large. When one hits the auction floor, it makes headlines. Prices can soar to $35,000 to $80,000 per carat, placing it firmly above even premium cashmere sapphires. With a mysterious gray-blue glow and a refractive index close to spinel, muscovite is often compared to tophiate, but it's even rarer. Collectors and royal buyers often fight over mere half-carat samples. The truth? Muscovite is so limited you'll never see it on display in most jewelry stores. Because it doesn't sell like sapphire, it vanishes like smoke into private vaults, almost as soon as it's found. Number 1. Tanzanite, the one-in-a-million flame. No blue gem story is complete without Tanzanite. Discovered at the foothills of Mount Kilimanjaro in 1967, Tanzanite is found in only one location in the world, a 4.3-mile strip of land in northern Tanzania. It's trichroic, showing blue, violet, and burgundy flashes depending on the light and angle. It dazzles in ways sapphire can't. But it's not just beauty that puts Tanzanite on this list. It's market power. While commercial quality stones are accessible, investment-grade Tanzanites over 10 carats, with vivid royal blue, are commanding prices of $50,000 or $100,000 per carat. Here's the twist. Tanzanite supply is rapidly depleting. It's forecasted to run dry within a generation. Some dealers are calling it the next blue diamond. And in terms of auction performance, it's already outselling sapphire on multiple fronts, especially for large, untreated stones with perfect saturation. Tanzanite is not just a gem, it's a countdown clock. So the next time someone tells you sapphire is the pinnacle of blue, you'll know the truth. There are deeper blues, brighter glows, and secrets still waiting beneath the earth. Imagine holding a piece of gold so pure it gleams like frozen sunlight. So flawless it carries the mark of 24 carats, the highest purity recognized by humankind. Now imagine achieving that level of perfection, not with modern machinery, not with toxic chemicals or expensive laboratories, but with a method so old, so overlooked, that history itself seems to have buried it under layers of dust and forgotten wisdom. This is not a fantasy. This is the forgotten trick that produces 24-karat gold, an ancient secret lost to time, but still whispering to those who know where to listen. Gold has always been more than just a metal. It is the eternal measure of wealth, the silent witness of civilizations, and the treasure that kings, miners, and dreamers have fought for across the ages. Let us begin where it always begins, with raw gold, fresh from the earth. Picture a miner breaking apart stone, chiseling through veins of quartz, separating the dull host rock from the glittering flecks of yellow that catch his eye. To the untrained observer, that gold looks perfect already. It shines in sunlight. It reflects like a mirror in the riverbed. But in truth, that raw nugget is often no more than 70 to 90% pure. Within it are whispers of silver, copper, iron, and countless trace minerals that cling like shadows to its brilliance. To create 24-karat gold, these shadows must be stripped away. And the forgotten trick begins here, with a process that purifies not by force, but by natural separation. The ancients believed that fire was the key. Fire, they said, had a way of revealing truth. When gold was exposed to flame, it behaved differently than any other element. It did not corrode. It did not vanish into ash. Instead, it seemed to become brighter, as if it were born from fire itself. And so they learned to use flame, not as destruction, but as refinement. They placed their raw gold into crucibles, made not of steel or iron, but of clay hardened by earth and sun. Why clay? Because clay held heat in a steady, even way, and did not corrupt the gold with impurities of its own. Inside those clay crucibles, the forgotten trick would begin to unfold. The key was in the balance of heat. Too little, and the impurities clung stubbornly to the gold. Too much, and the gold itself would become volatile, spitting tiny droplets, losing mass, or even vaporizing at the edges. But at the perfect temperature, something magical occurred. The impurities, those clinging fragments of other metals, would separate, pushed aside by the stability of gold's unique atomic structure. Slowly, drop by drop, the unwanted metals rose, pooled, and were skimmed away. What remained in the crucible was gold of astonishing purity, so pure that its glow was unmistakable even to the naked eye. And thus, step by step, the forgotten trick moved gold closer to 24-karat perfection. Here lies the second secret of the forgotten trick. Water in its purest and coldest form was used to shock the heated gold. Imagine molten gold, still glowing from fire, dropped suddenly into cold water. The gold hissed, screamed, and cracked into smaller fragments. At first glance, this looked like destruction, but in truth, it was creation. By breaking the gold into smaller, more manageable pieces, the surface area expanded, exposing the last remnants of impurities to removal. It was the combination of fire and water, repeated in cycles, that allowed gold to shed its unwanted companions and move toward perfect purity. This cycle was repeated not once, but many times. Fire to melt and separate, water to fracture and expose, fire again to fuse the gold back together, water again to test its resilience, over and over until the gold had been reborn into something beyond ordinary. The result, after enough cycles, is gold so pure that its value transcends time. 24 karat, untouched by corrosion, unspoiled by other metals, and shining with the glow of eternity. But this is only half the journey. The forgotten trick is not just fire and water. There are further steps involving air, salt, and the earth itself that complete the transformation. The final revelation lies ahead, where gold is not just purified but perfected. Fire and water were only the beginning. The ancients knew that the earth itself carried a role in perfecting gold. Once the cycles of melting, fracturing, and refusing had stripped away much of the corruption, the gold was left soft, malleable, and dangerously delicate. At this stage, it needed strength. Not strength from other metals, but strength from purification itself. The forgotten trick introduced salt and air. When combined with fire, the salt created a reactive environment that encouraged the last fragments of base metals to rise out of the gold. The reaction was subtle, almost invisible to the eye, yet the smiths knew it was happening. They could smell it, hear it in the hiss of flames, and see the surface of molten gold ripple with shadows as impurities surrendered to the fire. The gold was then poured into sand molds. Why sand? Because sand absorbed excess, catching invisible traces that even clay crucibles could not hold back. When the molds were broken apart, what emerged was no longer the raw, rough metal mined from quartz veins or riverbeds. It was something transformed, glowing with an evenness of color, soft enough to bend without breaking, yet resistant to tarnish. What makes this method remarkable is its sustainability. While modern purification often relies on cyanide or mercury, chemicals that poison rivers, soil, and even people, the forgotten trick achieved purity through elements available everywhere: fire, water, air, salt, clay, and sand. It was as if the earth itself had provided the recipe, waiting for humankind to notice. The ancients didn't describe this process in scientific terms. To them, it was a ritual, almost sacred. The fire represented transformation, the water rebirth, the salt cleansing, and the earth grounding the treasure in permanence. They saw the gold not just as wealth, but as proof that nature itself could reveal perfection when treated with respect. Today, when we speak of 24-karat gold, we imagine modern refineries, massive machines, industrial furnaces. But the forgotten trick reminds us that long before industry, there were people who mastered nature's balance. They could turn dull ore into pure sunlight, not through brute force, but through patience and wisdom. This is the lesson hidden in the forgotten trick. Purity is not rushed. It is earned layer by layer through cycles of trial and refinement. Just like gold itself, greatness is revealed only when everything false has been burned, washed, and stripped away. And so, if you ever hold a piece of 24-karat gold, let it remind you of this secret. You are not only holding wealth, you are holding the memory of a process that stretches back thousands of years, a process nearly erased from history, yet still alive in the glow of pure gold. This, dear viewers, is the forgotten trick that produces 24-karat gold. Not machinery, not chemicals, but the elemental rhythm of fire, water, air, and earth, working together in perfect harmony. It is a story of patience, precision, and wisdom lost to time, yet still echoing in every bar of pure gold that shines today. If this journey into the hidden world of gold fascinated you, remember, there are countless other secrets waiting to be uncovered beneath stone, river, and soil.